The boy sold like livestock, and the beginning of a legend. On a crisp autumn night beside the roaring Mulberry Creek after days of storm, within a tiny one-room log cabin, a newborn's cry broke the silent darkness. That was Jasper, the firstborn of Callaway Daniel, but joy was incomplete. His mother passed away moments after giving birth, never once cradling her child. There was no time to grieve. Life in 19th century rural America demanded resilience. Before long, his father remarried, and Jasper's life plunged into darkness. His stepmother never treated him as her child. Jasper's clothes were nothing but patched rags. He endured unjust beatings and harsh words that cut deep into his young heart. Each night, Jasper would silently gaze up at the ceiling, dreaming of his mother's gentle arms, something he would never know. He was overlooked, unheard, with no control over his fate. Then, at age 13, his father became gravely ill and passed away, and Jasper lost his last support. He officially became a stranger in the only home he had known. Sold off for a paltry sum, he was treated like an abandoned item. A cruel opening chapter, but it became the foundation for an American legend, Jack Daniel. After being sold at 13, Jasper embarked on a life of wandering from one household to the next. In the impoverished South, no one could afford another mouth to feed. The frail boy, standing under 5 feet tall, lacked the strength for farming. He couldn't lift straw, pull a plow, or control stubborn oxen. Even the animals ignored him, refusing to obey, no matter how hard Jasper tried. So time and again, he was passed around like worthless cargo, rejected by those who had taken him in. But in 1859, his life took a turn. A pastor named Reverend Call, who ran a small general store, saw something in the boy that others didn't. He offered Jasper a place to sleep in the loft above the barn, living alongside enslaved people in exchange for sweeping and errands. It wasn't glamorous, but for Jasper it was a start. The first time in years he wasn't cast aside as useless, a rejected boy, unwanted, and yet slowly discovering his worth, not in physical labor, but in something quietly awakening within him, a seed waiting for proper nurturing to blossom brilliantly. A twist of fate intervened where none anticipated, in a hidden cave by the farm, where cool groundwater flowed at a steady 56-degree Fahrenheit all year. Every Sunday after church, Jasper rode in Reverend Call's dusty wagon back to the farm. Inside that cave, beneath mossy rock, lay a secret, an illicit whiskey distillery. Reverend Call, the sermon giver by day, was also the clandestine maker of the region's finest whiskey by afternoon. Here, Jasper found something he had never had, a place to belong. His mentor was Nearest Green, an enslaved African-American master distiller. He taught Jasper everything from selecting corn and fermenting mash to refining the spirit, filtering through sugar maple charcoal, aging in charred oak to yield spicy, sweet notes and the subtle scent of vanilla and caramel. The boy once deemed too weak for farming became the golden child of the stillhouse. No longer needing brute strength, he only had to listen, learn, and let every drop of whiskey distill his soul. Then Reverend Call looked at Jasper and said, "You may not be Jack at every trade, but you are Jack of whiskey, and that's enough to make your name." And so the legend of Jack Daniel was born, not through muscles, but through passion, honed by flowing waters and smoldering wood.